The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go 3 wide. No one's going to let them.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's going to dive it in down the cloud. A huge move down the cloud of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it?
Walker Thomas. Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
Welcome race fans to Primetime Racing TV and tonight's live coverage of the KVegas Kustoms Snowball Derby live at the Five Flags Speedway. In the booth tonight is myself, Corey Silva, and along with Evan Black here tonight, here to bring you 300 laps of action in the super late models here tonight.
Yeah, 300 laps around this awesome track, Five Flags Speedway in the super late models. Should be a really fun race to watch.
It's been a week of activity getting this race underway and getting these drivers ready for this race. There was qualifiers, there was a last chance qualifier, there was single laps. So the drivers have already been prerequisited today with their starting lineup. So we will bring that to you shortly, as well as bring you a little bit of insight towards today's race with a couple league admins. So stay with us for that.
100% fuel limit, so just the normal for these cars, which will probably be around 100 to 150 laps, I would think. And it's a long time since I've driven these cars.
And it's a matter of, will we see that many laps? Right now, these drivers are in a driver's meeting right now, getting themselves situated with some last-minute details for tonight's race. Again, it'll be 300 laps around Five Flags Speedway. Five Flags Speedway, half-mile track, but moderately banked speedway, so it will be some fast racing, it will be some tight racing. I'm sure there'll be some bent fenders and some upset tempers by the end of tonight's race, so should be a good one tonight.
Yeah, this track is pretty multi-groove, so watch for that second and maybe even the third group to come in.
especially where we will be going 300 laps, as Evan said. And you can kind of tell from the scenic shots that we're seeing, there's already marbles built up on the track. There's already a decently dark groove, so we will only be adding to that and making it even a slicker track and making that groove move further up the racetrack.
Weather fairly cool tonight, 67 degrees air temp, 75-degree track temp, partly cloudy late afternoon. So it should be a pretty grippy track, even though the track usage is pretty high. That should help bring these drivers some of the grip back that they will be losing with the obviously the very worn-in surface. So Evan, you're pretty good about knowing the majority of the cars on the iRacing service. So what do you know about the super late models and your experiences? How are they going to be drive tonight? Well, these cars are really fun to drive. They've got quite a bit of power and pretty decent amount of grip. They're really good short track cars. You can really beat them up and they don't slow down too much. Should be a lot of beating and banging.
And these drivers, just as a little bit of inside information, there is one fast repair available tonight. So if there is any kind of serious incident, serious damage, they do have one backup car that they can pull out to get themselves back in the action. And with 300 laps of short track action, I'd have to be imagining that a lot of the drivers will be using that.
Yeah, I would say most of them will be with this pretty good size 34 car field for this small track.
You can see the sponsors for the league in the bottom corner of your screen right now. Quite a bit on offer. There are hard charger awards. There are top 3 awards. Winner gets, I believe it was $50 cash for his victory tonight. So some big money on the line for these drivers in this early January dash here in Florida. So you should see these drivers really going for it. $50 on the line. All right, and we are going to bring Andrew Cardinal, who is one of the admins and one of the people who brought this league on, just to give you this race on, rather, just to give you a little bit of insight information on tonight's race. And here he is, Andrew. Andrew Cardinal. He wants to talk to us about the race. Give us a little inside information. Welcome.
Well, Corey and Evan, thanks for taking this job on tonight and bringing me up. So, you know, to everyone watching, basically you're watching our rendition of the Snowball Derby here on iRacing, and we were able to get a couple of sponsors, most notably KVegas Kustoms, and they're putting up a total of $100 for the top 3 tonight. There'll also be a hard charger award, and you know, there's even t-shirts available for this race. So you know, we definitely wanted to make this race nice and structured, nice and professional. So we're going to do our best here to give everyone a great racing product out on the track, and hopefully give some money away at the end of the night.
All right, so that should be something to look forward to. So now that we have got these drivers on the grid, we'll be getting the racing underway very shortly. Hopefully iRacing will cooperate and let me show you the starting lineup here tonight. Unfortunately, folks, due to the nature of the session and the software I do have, I cannot give you the starting lineup in the normal fashion, so we'll try to do it au naturel as best we can. So on the poll right now, we have
on the pole right now is Joe Burchett, Ryan Kuhn to his outside, Garrett Lamb in 3rd, Andrew Wooten in 4th, Thomas Axum in 5th, Chris Silvestri in 6th, and then Derek Gluchaki, Jake Matheson, Taylor Cox, and Jackson Allen rounding out the top 10.
Alright, thank you for that, Evan. Sometimes with sessions that are taken care of ahead of time, there is a little difficulty on the software side, so apologies for that, folks, but nonetheless, we will be soon giving you this race. One more pace lap around this speedway.
Really short pace laps as their flying speeds around this track is just under 16 seconds.
Alright, so the field comes off of turns 3 and 4 right now, and this race will soon be underway.
Pace car into pit road waiting on that green flag to fly. There it is. These drivers are going. We're underway. Pretty even start into 1 and 2. 26 at Burchett clear, and the 72 on the outside or on the inside.
Yeah, right now you can see the 6 machine stuck on the outside as the 013 is underneath him at the moment here as we come off of turn number 4 to complete lap number 1.
Looks like the inside right now is where you want to be. We'll see if once that gets some heat and if these drivers will move up.
Yeah, right now it looks like even though there is more rubber on the track down low, you're still going to want to be there, as Evan said, until the groove is able to wear in a little bit more.
Caution is out.
And let's try to find what it was for.
Looks like the 9 of Aiden Young is around.
I could see here Aiden Young in the 9. Let's try to go back quickly and see what happened to him.
I can't go see what happened to him, but he's got a pretty torn up race car right now.
See, he's running the top here. I believe it's off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. And he just got hit by the number 8 machine of Clayton Kurtz. Not sure if he just lost his momentum there or what happened to cause that, but regardless of such, we're on to the first caution of the day, lap number 5.
Looks like pretty much everyone's staying out except for Aiden. It's not going to use a fast repair quite yet.
Now, these obviously being short track vehicles, they are built to be durable, so that little bit of contact shouldn't really cause him too much issue right now. So,
the one thing about this track, with how small it is, he was only able to fix about 8 seconds of damage before he had to go, or he would have went left down.
Yeah,
because of how small this track is, and
with as large as the field is, you're really not having. By the time you get into the pits and get to your stall, the leader is going to be right on your butt already.
Joe Burchett still waiting from the pole. Ryan Kuhn still in second. Thomas Axel made his way into the 3rd position after starting 5th.
Yeah, so the driver's already gaining positions on quite a small opening stint of the race. Still at least another lap behind the iRacing.com pace car.
So Corey, how much of an effect do you think the tires will have on these cars? With how big this field is especially.
I'd have to imagine that with tire wear, I mean, with these cars still having a good amount of power to them, and they do put a lot of wear into the track with the load, with the speeds that they have, I'd have to imagine the tires will wear off, but I think it's going to be a at least 50 laps before it's anything really of significant note.
Yeah, because the issue will be is if you run 30, 40 laps, yeah, you're going to want new tires, but if no one else comes with you, you're going to be back in 25th.
Exactly, then you're just playing the luck game of track position to see if you can get yourself back there, but we are having the 1 to go. We are doubled up, stacked up behind the iRacing.com pace car. Joe Burchett in the 26 to the inside, Ryan Kuhn in the 72 to the outside. Wait for the pace car to pull in, and we wait for the 26 to get on the loud pedal, and there he is. We're back underway on lap number 9.
72 Kuhn did a pretty nice job anticipating that start. He's moving right on the back bumper of the 26 of Burchett. Oh, and this car around wreck behind him. Pretty big wreck in 1 and 2.
Yeah, there's a big pile up there. A couple cars already backwards on the track, so let's go back and do the best we can to analyze that situation there. Oh, looks like it started with the 03 machine, I do believe.
Just trying to get under the 16 and Tyler Cox.
And it looks like it was only about a 2-car incident. I mean, a couple drivers, actually the 8 machine of Clayton Kurtz, again involved in that, but nothing of serious incident right there. I think everyone should be able to carry on just fine.
Yeah, only those 3 drivers really made somewhat major contact. There's a few other drivers that just made minor contact with the other cars trying to avoid.
So 2 cautions in 11 laps so far. These drivers are obviously ready and raring to go, but they're going to have to kind of tame the horses just a little bit to get a run here, and let's see who has what. But the number 26 of Joe Perchette still does lead the race. We had a good grid of about 36, I believe it was 36 drivers entered, and we have 30 on the track, 29 on the lead lap. Only car registered off the lead lap right now, to my knowledge, is Bradley Wilson in the 51, so still 29 drivers on the lead lap.
Yeah, only 30 cars actually started this event.
Well, we say only 30. It's a half-mile track, so believe me, 30 drivers on this small of a track is still quite the field.
Yeah, 30 cars wouldn't be too many at, say, a road course or a 2-mile track, but here at this half-mile in Florida, that's quite a few cars. And if there's a wreck in the kind of front end of the pack, it's so hard to miss people.
Yeah, there is more room here than, let's say, a Bristol. There is a little bit more space to be able to navigate, but even still, I mean, if you have 3 or 4 cars spinning in front of you, even with the extra space and the wide track here, it's still going to be blocked. You're really going to have one move if you're lucky, and then you're still dependent on the drivers behind you to be able to assess the situation and not hit you while you're trying to avoid the wreck.
Slides are out on that iRacing.com pace car. Going down the back straight, stacked up behind the 26 of Joe Burchett.
So let's see if the 26 can get the same start he got last time and perhaps get out to the early advantage. Remember, he can go at any point after that pace car has taken the hard left turn. So there goes the pace car. We wait for Joe Burchett. There he goes, back underway for the next restart. And the stack up.
Stack up. Oh, wreck.
The 40 machine, Gordon Lamb. And their 75 machine as well spins in all the way at the back from that.
I don't know if someone missed a shift or what happened. The 40 of
yeah, the
Garrett
40
Lamb.
did not go there. He had some kind of technical problems, or like you said, he missed a shift, but then everyone just stacked up in turn 1. You can see the 88 machine right there of Patrick White just kind of had to thread the needle there.
Yeah, it sounds like he couldn't get into 3rd gear. And that just stacked everything up. Looks like he is the only car involved. Looks like one more car might have spun, but I don't think he got any damage.
So as these drivers try to reassemble, obviously with being a short track, a lot of these drivers are going to have to get themselves really assembled, get caught back up. You can see a lot of drivers still almost in turn 2 as the pace car is already in turn 1. A full strung out field here almost does encompass this entire racetrack.
Yeah, there's a few drivers that did get caught a lap down from next. They were not to quite cross the start finish by the time the caution came out. They should get the wave around though once we get 1 to green.
Yeah, right now, as of the current scoring, we have 27 drivers on the lead lap. Sean Williams being the last one, Garrett Lamb, Bradley Wilson, and Gordon Larson Jr. 3 drivers off the lead lap, but we do not have anybody else in front of the 26, so those will be the 3 drivers off the lead lap as we circle around to try to get one more pace lap in and then get this race back underway for the 4th time. And we just got confirmation in our chat that the caution was caused by, I believe it was the 40, wasn't it? Yeah, the 40. His shifter disconnected. I mean, you can kind of relate that to real life where Dale Earnhardt Jr., the shifter popped out while he was driving, so stuff does happen in the sim world, as is the real world, so technical problems, but he will carry on, I do believe.
Yeah, he will be a lap down, but he will carry on. Coming down this back straightaway, stacked up behind the iRacing.com pace car, Joe Burchett leading the field, Ryan Kuhn to his outside.
So we'll take it away for yet another restart, see if we can get these guys going back for some green flag racing. Pace car in and green flag back in the air, 26 on the loud pedal. Get this race back underway.
Ryan Kuhn did not get going very well at all. 013 Thomas Axum is going to get by him and right to the back room for our leader.
Here they come entering turn number 3, the 013 right to the back bumper, has a little bit of a run as he runs a lower line through turn number 3. See a side-by-side battle from about the 4th position on back right now.
Oh, Joe Burchett gets a little bit high out of 013, looking to his inside.
That's Thomas Axum in the 013, as you said, underneath. Let's see if they can hold the side-by-side as the 26 is on the outside off of turn number 4. 013 with the run.
Out.
Caution.
013 should have the lead.
Patrick White in the 88 is backwards in turn number 4.
Looks like he just came down on the 9 of Aiden Young.
Yeah, just didn't leave him enough space there, and that just sent him around, and everybody else did. Oh, somebody got licked from that. I believe it was the 40 of Garrett Lamb.
Yeah, he got hit in the door from the 88.
So that will cause the 88 to Patrick White to have to use a fast repair and pull out that backup car because that engine is soon about to expire. So, but in that short stint, we did see a lead change. Thomas Axum in the 013 has gained the lead, moving Joe Burchett back to 2nd position.
And that all started when the 26 just got a little bit high out of the corner. He really only got like 3 inches higher than what he was supposed to. But that gave the 013 of Axum a really huge run.
Yeah, when everybody's running this close of times, even that little bit of a gap could be what you need to get enough of an advantage. And as we saw, it obviously worked out there for the 013.
Looks like still 27 cars on the lead lap. First one lap down now is the 51 of Bradley Wilson, which it looks like he might be getting the lucky dog. He just doesn't go around the pace car.
So lap number 26 in the book, still quite a ways left. We got 300 lap scheduled distance here tonight. See with the pace car, if we do get the one to go this time by, you can see a couple drivers in the pits already fixing damage at the moment. So you could, with the attrition we've already had, with the incidents we've already had, but we will go one more time around, at least 2 rather.
So Corey, do you think we will see these drivers start to move up a little bit if we can get going here and get that bottom groove heated up?
I'd have to imagine, Evan. I mean, at some point, it's just the theory of mathematics. If you wreck more drivers out, you're going to have a smaller field, and you will get going over time. And once, obviously being a short track, you will heat up that groove very quickly. And that should cause these drivers to start searching for grip, especially with the banking here. I think they can make something work.
So the lights are out on the pace car now. Getting ready to come back to the green.
Thomas Axum in the 013 has, for the first time tonight, will be the control car. He will get this race underway at his discretion upon the exit of the pace car. There is the exit of the pace car, and he's on the gas. Green flag back in the air.
72, Ryan Kuhn got a really good restart. He's going to clear the 26 4-second position. Let's see if he can do anything with our leader.
To move Ryan Kuhn into the 72 into second position. We go a little bit further back. We have the 4 of Jackson Allen stuck on the high side. Andrew Wooten underneath him. Then Chris Silvestri in the 74. It looks like he's going to try to fill in the gap, but the 4 drives in really deep into turn number 1 and 2, trying to hold that run on the outside.
Someone's engine blew up right in front of these guys. I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah, I don't see any smoke on track right now.
Looks like the 33 of Richard Murtaugh Jr.
Battle for position for the 74. 74 Chris Silvestri passes the number 4 of Jackson Allen. That moves to 74 into the 6th position here.
74 had some really good times in practice. Let's see if we can get this thing up there to the lead.
Looks like the leaders are trying to navigate around a slower machine right now. Looks like that's the
75. Terry Mason checking out the 37. What was the 20 or 74?
3 wide, 75's around. Terry Mason in the wall, caution flag in the air. As we said, the leaders had to navigate around that slower car of the 75, and obviously that did not go to plan. You can see here through 3 and 4, that is Terry Mason. He was on the inside, then he moves to the outside, and it looks like the 6 machine tried to take advantage of the situation, and it did not work out for him. 6 of Andrew Wooten put the 75 into the wall, and the yellow flag will wave yet again tonight.
Yeah, looks like the 75 just did not know he was 3 wide.
Sometimes that's a situation when there's a lap car, you can almost use it as a pick. And if it's hard to pass, maybe that lap car will throw off the driver ahead of you and give you that opportunity to make a pass. I don't know if that was the case, or maybe, as you said, he just didn't have the awareness. He thought about the situation he was in, but regardless of such, yellow flag back in the air.
Yeah, the 75 of Mason was parked for the rest of the night. The lights on the pace car are still on, so 2 more times around before we get back to the green. Down to only 25 cars on the lead lap.
Obviously, with less drivers, as I said, with less drivers on the track, you are more likely to actually get some green flag running in and get some cleaner racing. So I think that is going to be the case tonight. So as the field shrinks, I do think we will start to spread out and see what these guys are made of.
Yeah, we're down to 5 drivers at the moment. 25 currently out on, or actually 27 out on track, 25 on the lead lap. So 3 cars are out of the event.
And as you said, Evan, one of the drivers, I can't remember who you said it was, but one of the drivers already parked for the race, I assume, due to the officials not being happy with one of the moves that he made.
Yeah, it was the 75 Terry Mason, black car in that last instant.
Sometimes on a short track it is hard being a lap car, because with everyone coming at you is so quickly, you almost sometimes don't know where you should go. You want to get out of the way and not be that guy, but sometimes you just have to make a really quick decision, and not every time is it the correct one.
As the lights are out on the pace car, where we come into the green this time by.
Take it away, Evan.
Thomas Axums on the inside, 013, 72 of Ryan Kuhn to his outside, waiting for the pace car to pull into pit road. It does, and Thomas Axum is on the throttle, clears the 72 of Ryan Kuhn. Whoever that was behind Axum, I believe it was the 26, did not get going like he wanted.
That was Joe Perchet. Remember, he led the opening stint of this race. Right now, he's all the way back to the 4th position right now, as the who is that? The 37 of Caden Honeycutt moves into the 3rd spot. Now Burchett is going to have to deal in the clutches of Andrew Wooten, who has the 74 of Chris Silvestri.
Oh, 6
some
goes
contact.
Around.
Can he save it?
He saved it.
Do we stay green?
Yes, we do. Really good save by that 6.
Everybody does a very good evadance job right there to get around. So you can see some 3 wide still further in the pack, but everyone is seeming to get through right now. We go
the 72 of Kuhn back up front. It might be a little bit quicker than the 013 of Axum. He's all over his back bumper.
Tyler Cox underneath Joe Lawrence right here off of turn number 4. Some contact off of turn number 4. The 16 will prevail with the position. Not sure how the 78 will feel about that, but caution.
Caution is out. One car around
0-5 of Jake Matheson. Get back on replay and see what happened to Jake. He is in turn number 1, and he just got hit in the left rear quarter panel by the number 98, the number 98 of Jerry Glenn. And pretty plain as day right there.
Only one car involved in that incident.
That's the 6th caution of the race so far. 6 cautions in 43 laps. If we keep that up, that is math, so I'm not going to try that. I think that's 30 cautions, so we're going to hope that doesn't carry on.
So now that the 72 of Kuhn is back up where he started, he dropped back a little bit on that start, the initial start. Will he be able to do anything with our leader, Thomas Axum? Caden Honeycutt started back in 14th, and he's managed to work his way up to the 3rd position.
Yeah, between attrition and perhaps just the setups under those hoods, it's kind of hard to tell, but I think at some point we're going to figure out who has the better long run car, who is better on the short haul. Obviously, I think tonight the short run cars are going to be the ones that will probably prevail. Looks like the 013 and the 37, you could tell by the paint schemes, looks as if they are affiliated team members, so interesting to see if the same setup maybe is going to help those two drivers.
74 as well.
Chris Silvestri.
Which he had a really good car in practice. I believe he was fastest.
And he was making some moves, as we saw throughout those couple runs we did have. We saw him making some moves. So
I think he was 2nd quickest in practice.
So as we are on lap number 46, we still have 25 drivers. Reagan Parent, the last one on the lead lap right now. As you said, 2 out of the race, 3 off the lead lap. In the Snowball Derby by the KVegas Kustoms. By the KVegas Kustoms. I feel like I did not say that correctly. I do apologize, but regardless
of KVegas Kustoms Snowball Derby.
Yes, we said it in the wrong order. Say it in the wrong order. There you go, Corey. I've done this a couple times before, but 1 to go. Pace car will turn the lights off. We will get doubled up, stacked up, ready to go back racing here tonight. 013 of Thomas Axum will take the leader, will take the control of this restart. 72 on the outside. Pace car pulls in, and it's a very early restart. Thomas Axum on the gas pedal quite early, and we're back underway yet again.
72 of Kuhn was able to get a pretty good restart and clear at the 37, so you'll stay in line.
And it looks like we have 3 team cars up front. It looks like it'll be 4 pretty soon, as Silvestri is trying to get around Joe Perchette and break that chain and get that 4-car team tandem up front. And we have a wreck.
Oh, 16 around.
Tyler Cox. And whoa, big stack up at turn number 1. About 4 to 5 drivers involved now.
Looks like the 16 just got turned by the 6 of Wooten.
Yep, that looks like perhaps just maybe drove it in too deep, and you could see the 39 just kind of couldn't make it up top there, and then everyone just kind of pile drove in there. I mean, I hate using the phrase, but it kind of like an ARCA brake situation there. I think the caution was already out, but I don't think the drivers quite yielded to it enough, and some more incidents after the yellow.
So now that they've ran around 50 laps, I really wouldn't expect him to come down pit road, since probably only around, what do you think, 10, 15 of those went to green?
Well, as the graphic dictates, we've run 32 caution laps out of 52, so about 20 laps under green, but those were in...
40 is getting the lucky dog, 40 of Carol Lamb.
Yeah, those runs we did have were about in 1 to 5 lap stints, so I really don't even think we burnt the stickers off the tires yet, in all honesty, so... looks like all the leaders have stayed out. We can tell here the first driver that has made a pit stop tonight is Trevor Edwards in the 32. He's actually made 2 pit stops tonight, surprisingly. Top 7 cars right now have yet to visit their crews.
Yeah, we'll see how about 11 laps entire difference will do for the 32 of Edwards. Lights are still on, so at least 2 more times around.
We do want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight to PTR TV's coverage of this race. Kind of took it on last second to help these guys out, so glad to be on board. If you're a fan of KVegas Customs and what they put on, if you're a fan of us, just like, subscribe, show in chat that you're watching, that you're enjoying the show. So always like to have some active participation on these broadcasts, so anybody who wants to take on that will be greatly appreciated. So see if the pace car does give us 1 to go, and it does, so we will give it another try.
And the league officials just told me that there will be penalties for each driver that brings out a caution, probably an EOL or something. So maybe that will clean it up just a little bit.
It did look like a lot of the yellows so far have been avoidable incidents, so they are trying to clear those up naturally, and a good thing that they are trying to do that. But here comes the OS 13 for yet another restart. Already on the loud pedal quite early that time. Green flag in the air.
72 Kun did a pretty nice job to stay in line and to not lose a spot to the 37 of Honeycutt.
And Chris Silvestri in the 74 has got himself...
The first penalty for the cautions have come out. Andrew Wooten was just black flagged for 30 seconds. That's around 2 laps, if not more, at this track.
Andrew Wooten in the 24, he's already on pit road. He is yielding that black flag as we speak. Remember, he was in the top 5 earlier. But Chris Silvestri in the 74 has gotten by the 26.
72 of Kuhn falling back into the hands of the 37 of Honeycutt. Team cars now in the top 4.
Yep, and the pulse, the pulse leader, Joe Pritchett, he is falling back all the way to 5th position and about to lose that to the 78 of Joe Lawrence.
I wonder if his tires are just starting to get a little bit worn now, and the long run setup is better on those team cars up there.
And the 03 of Derek Gluchaki, yeah, you got pronunciation on that. He looks like he is also affiliated with the same team, and he is doing his best to navigate his way up there. He is in 7th position, a little bit ways back of Joe Lawrence. But back up front, team cars under a blanket here. Let's see how they treat each other. Are they going to go for the passes, or are they just going to kind of ride some laps out?
We will find out, but I would think they would try and do some passes, but do it really cautiously so that they don't ruin it for them or their teammates.
Yeah, they do want to do the best they can, obviously, to lead laps and stay up front. But at the same time, if you're racing on a team, you got to think of the best interest of the team as well. Almost looks like a draft train style situation right now. Go a little bit back, and we see the 78 of Joe Lawrence underneath Joe Pritchett, who is just dropping back here as this race goes on, as this run goes on.
Yeah, I'm wondering if his tires are getting a little bit worn, and that setup is just not as good for the long run.
Trevor Edwards in the 32 has passed the number 03 of Derek Gluchacci.
Edwards has a little bit fresher tires, about 11 laps fresher. So we'll see what they can do with these drivers up here. He started back in 31st.
We go a little ways back. We have the 43 machine, Kyle Willis, Aiden Young. That's a battle for the 15th position. Looks like it will go to the number 43 of Kyle Willis. That is a pass for position.
Up front, those 4 team cars are still nose to tail, half second separating the top 4 right now.
And we can see on our lap time graphic right now, pretty much they are all within 3 to 4 hundredths of a second, so they are essentially equal. So they must literally have the exact same setup under the hood of those machines, because they are running absolutely identical times. And look ahead, Evan, we are going to be hitting some lap traffic pretty shortly.
Yeah, the 88 of Patrick White, he's going to be the first car they catch, and then in front of him there's a pretty good 6-car gaggle up there.
So remember,
that could really help a few of these drivers behind Thomas Axum to get by him.
Oh, the 013 broke a little wiggle there off of turn number 2. Nothing of significance, but worth noting. Looks like the 37 machine of Caden Honeycutt took a look under the 72 there. Nothing doing with it. And here comes the first encounter with the slower machine.
Will he give them the bottom? Looks like he will. No, he will not.
88 of Patrick White, he will go to the top here, but looks like he made it a little bit difficult on corner entry. Will force these drivers all the way to the inside. He is staying high and out of the way as best he can. Tight exit off turn number 4, but all is well right now, so leaders will carry on.
What's going to be really interesting is when they catch that 6-car pack up there, because they're all racing for position.
On board right now with Ryan Kuhn, you can kind of get a feel for
the... Oh, that lap car just went around on the front stretch. I do not know if that will bring the caution out. Yes, it does. 88 of Patrick White.
Let's go back on replay.
Just got loose out of 4 and into the inside wall.
Yeah, he just kind of got a little bit high there. I mean, didn't really look like from the camera he did anything wrong, but he did break loose, got some left front damage to that machine. Nothing that seems overly significant, but obviously we'll throw the caution out for what is now the 8th time tonight. And
as it looks like everyone is coming down pit road. 013 of Axum leading them. Looks like everyone behind him is pitting. Now, will they do 2 tires? Will they do 4 tires?
Interesting to find out. We have run about 74 laps now, so even with all the caution laps, and it looks like, oh, Joe Perchette, I thought he overshot his stall there, but he did not. And it looks like I see 4 tires, and let's see how the pace car is. We know how short those pace laps are here, but I think everyone, at least up front, should be just fine.
Thomas Axum did not have a good stop. So maybe a few drivers in front of him may have done 2 tires.
Yeah, obviously these machines do not pit nearly as quickly as other machines that we're used to, especially in the NASCAR vehicles, but it looks like with the 15-second stop that Michael Redding in the 2 will be the leader, at least at the moment.
Looks like the 38 of Wade Lear has done 2 tires. And the 2 of Michael Redding, he actually stayed out. He's got 41 laps on his tires. So he has pitted this race, but under this current cycle.
So that is something that I didn't catch. Good call there, Evan. So, and you can see he obviously has had some significant damage with either the wall or another car, because the right side of that car is completely crumpled in right now. But obviously he has confidence in it to be able to stay out, so we'll see what he's made of once we do get back underway.
As looks like we are at the 1/4 mark of this race.
I was very confident math, Evan, to be able to do that. I wouldn't have tried.
I pulled out a calculator, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I still doubted myself even after looking at it.
Well, lights out on the pace machine, and right now we will see what Michael Redding in the 2 is able to do with those older tires and damaged machine, as he will be the leader of the race here as we approach lap number 78.
He's got 40 laps on those tires. He's going to need to watch wheel spin on the start as the pace car ducks in. And 2 of Michael Redding is on the gas. 74 got a really good restart. It looks like the 2 might be down on horsepower. He's holding up the 72 of Kun behind him.
Yeah, the 74 of Silvestri completely got the outside going there, ends up taking the lead, and another driver who is at Caden Honeycutt takes the lead, and the 2 is just parachuting and slowing this whole field down. 3 wide entering turn 1.
The 2 is down in horsepower. I do not know what he was doing when he stayed out.
Yeah, maybe he, yeah, that's not really the safest call. He is really stacking the field up right now, but 4 drivers have managed to get by and a caution.
Wreck.
Oh, and that is
one car upside down.
That is the big one. Upside down is the 0-3. At least I can think it is him upside from the numbers upside down.
Go chalky. Up and over, big wreck.
So all of that was really started by the 2 and his lack there of power there. Actually, I'll take that. I'll take that back, because it was the 16 of Tyler Cox. Let's just try to get a second look here. Tyler Cox is underneath the 0-3 right now, off of turn number 4. Cox, I think he moves up the track a little bit too much, and then just got into the 0-3. And then obviously all hell broke loose after that. You can see the 0-3 on his lid, and then the whole track in 1 and 2 just absolutely stopped. So that is going to take some drivers out of this race.
Yes, it definitely will. 0-3 of Derek Golchaki. He probably got the worst end of that, and he had a pretty good car under him. There's only 17 cars on the lead lap right now.
So indirectly, we can't really say that the 2 caused that, because he wasn't in it, but I have to imagine that stack up kind of got everyone wadded up there and just made that a tighter situation than it normally would have been.
He indirectly caused that, because everyone got stacked up, everyone was trying to make moves, so I can't put the blame on him, but he was kind of at fault, and I really don't know why he stayed out if he was down so much power, unless he didn't know.
Yeah, we don't know whereabouts that damage happened or what lap it happened on, but typically if you know that you don't have the car to stay up front, you wouldn't do that. So maybe he just thought that, hey, it's driving fine, but didn't realize the lack there of horsepower.
There's not too many cars out there now with no damage.
You sound surprised.
Even our leader has some pretty good front end and rear end damage.
Yeah, some good left rear damage here for the number 74 of Silvestri. Looks like the 37 is in a little bit better shape right now.
Yeah, I don't see any damage on the 37 of Caden Honeycutt. But with it being a short track, damage, unless it's engine damage, really doesn't affect you that much.
And remember that these drivers do have one backup car, but they don't want to use it until they absolutely know that they have to.
Yeah, still around 185 or so laps. Or 220 some.
Yeah, you already used your math for the race, Evan.
Yeah, anyway, the pace car getting ready to pull down into pit road. 74 of Chris Silvestri taking him down to the green. Really good restart by him. He's going to clear the 37 of Caden Honeycutt.
So now it'll be a battle for the second position as Joe Lawrence in the 78 tries to get underneath the 37 of Honeycutt off of turn number 2. Had a run but lost it, so moved the 37 into P2 with a clear advantage. He's going to take a look underneath the 74. Nothing doing this time by.
And the 16 of Tyler Cox is getting a drive-through penalty.
But we have to go back, Evan, and look at the 2. You can see here they're stacked up yet again, nearly a 3 wide off of turn number 2 as these drivers try to get underneath. There's Joe Perchette and Tyler Cox on the apron right now.
Yeah,
is that the penalty?
Down pit road. Yes, it is. So and it looks like we're about to have a battle for the lead. So the 37 Honeycutt looks like he's quite a bit faster than Silvestri.
So teammates right now maybe not playing so nice. 37 may have the better car. It gives them the bumper. Teammates! And teammates take each other out off turn number 4.
Oh, and the 74 backs out onto the track and makes contact.
Yeah, that was just got a run off turn 4, maybe tried to get underneath, but just wasn't able to do so, and then just right in the left rear quarter panel, and you could see a little bit of stack up there off turn number 4. That'll put us in the double digits for the race. That is the 10th caution of the race on lap number 90. And we will take this opportunity to step away momentarily just for a quick side-by-side. We'll be right back with you for the restart. Stay with us.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
And we're back here on PTR TV, and you might have saw on the side-by-side a very interesting turn of events. The 013 got turned by the 31 of Reagan Parent, who has immediately been removed from the race. Not sure what that was about, but 013 did regain his position, and Joe Lawrence in the 78 will be the leader for this restart.
Yeah, first time he has been out front. As the pace car pulls down into pit road, and the 78 is on the throttle. Real good restart.
Green flag in the air, quite the advantage for the 78 on the loud pedal quite early there on the restart. As we spread out here, you can see in the pack some really good 2-3 wide racing here. Hopefully everyone is able to play nice with each other. 89 of Sean Williams underneath the 38 of Wade Lear.
As the 37 of Caden Honeycutt did get the penalty for that, so a drive-through penalty for him.
As you can see him on pit road, remember he was just in the top 5. Some hectic racing here in the mid-teens, mid-20s right now. 74 of, who is that? Chris Silvestri trying to work his way back through the pack. Silvestri back in the 12th position now, already gained quite a bit of spots since the restart.
And I'm hearing now from league officials that 31, when he turned to his teammate, he could not see him because he was lagging out.
Oh.
So he didn't even know he hit him.
So that was an internet issue there that we did not know about. So let's take back any blame we may have caused there, incidentally.
26 of Joe Burchett looking under the 013 of Thomas Axum.
Let's see here if the side-by-side can play it up. The 013 has anything on top. He does not. Does he try for a crossover? Nothing doing here. So move the 26 back up to the P3. Remember, he led the opening stint of this race, led 21 laps, but was fading. But Axum's not done.
Looks like the 26 of Burchett might have a better short-run car. So we'll see if he can hang on it for another 10 more laps or so and see if he's made any adjustments.
You can see off the corner here, 013 with a look to the inside. He'll have a look into turn number 3. 26 washes up the track. They'll be side by side off turn 4, but with the momentum on the outside, the 26 will get the run, but they're still side by side in 1 and 2.
013 of Axum is kind of just inching his way forward ahead of the 26. Each corner is getting another few feet forward.
While this is happening, a battle for the lead is about to shake up between Kuhn and Joe Lawrence. Might be Kuhn or Khan. Apologies to Ryan on that. Hopefully someone in chat can help us out with that. But they are side by side for the lead. Battle for the lead here on lap 102. Ryan Khan in the 72 to the inside of Joe Lawrence, side by side for the lead. And they're also side by side for 4th.
Yeah, there's a 3-car battle for 2nd. It looks like as the 72 of Ryan Kuhn does get by the 78 of Joe Lawrence.
And then back here we had Thomas Axum going on with Joe Burchett, and then the 37 of Hayden Honeycutt, who's a lap down, trying to get back on the lead lap the old-fashioned way.
Honeycutt does get around the 26. And these two drivers are teammates. I wonder if 013 will just kind of let him go so maybe he can get back in the lead lap. Kind of depends on if he sees him as a teammate or just another competitor. And
you can see here, Evan, just as we kind of scroll through the field, it looks like we are finally kind of getting our grip here, getting a little bit spread out, which will lead to hopefully getting us some kind of a green flag run here.
Which the leaders are about 5 or 6 seconds behind their first set of lap cars this run, the 2 of Michael Redding and 00 of Gordon Larson Jr. in the 13th and 14th positions.
Yeah, right now Michael Redding, remember the 2, he stayed out on a prior yellow about 2 or 3 laps, 2 or 3 cautions ago rather, and did not have the horsepower really stacked up the field. He is doing his best to stay on the lead lap with that damaged machine, but I think his time is short in that category, and it looks like he's about to pull off.
It's a pretty big gaggle back in 7th, a fight going in a wreck. 2 cars around on the front stretch.
It is Max Cookson, and we will see the other driver here as we go on Primetime Racing Replay. As we come off of
77 of Kenneth Yuntz, something. Looks like he just got a little loose out of 4.
Oh, and Matt, who is that? Cookson in the 39 was just kind of an innocent bystander that really had nowhere to go.
Just those 2 cars involved.
But we can say, oh, here come pit stops yet again. Kuhn on pit road in the 72, but it's not a unanimous decision, as I do see a couple drivers choosing to stay out.
A few drivers are staying out. I do know some of them are just lap cars trying to get their laps back. But it looks like the 2 of Michael Redding might have just pitted to use his quick fix.
Yeah, I think at the situation he's in, he really just did not have a choice, just with how slow that machine was, but...
Actually, it looked like his engine blew, so he had to pit a little bit earlier than everyone else.
But right now, the 43 of Kyle Willis will inherit the lead. He did not stop on that cycle of pit stops, so give him his first lap lead of the race. And you can see right here the 03 machine is in front of him. The 03 of Derek Luciacci, he will get back on, well, not on the lead lap, but he will get one of his laps back as he's 3 down at present. Looks like the 72 is going to get the lucky dog or the wave around of sorts right now as he's coming around the outside. Oh, it looked like he was. Looks like he was just getting himself back in line. But right now in the top 5, we have Kyle Willis currently leading this race, Wade Lear in 2nd, Aiden Young in 3rd, Ryan Kuhn in 4th, and Tyler Cox in 5th. Completely different top 5 than we've had for the first 80 or so laps of this race. So let's see what these different set of drivers can do with their newfound track position.
Looks like Ryan Kuhn will be the first driver that did pit this last time by.
And just for the tire advantage so that we're aware of what's going on, the top 3 drivers all have about 30 plus laps on their tires. Obviously the drivers Kuhn on back will have fresh ones, and now that the lights are on the pace car, let's see what these drivers are made of.
Kyle Willis in the 43 on the inside, the 38 of Wade Lear on the outside, and the 9 second row inside, and the 72 of Ryan Kuhn second row outside.
So we'll wait to see what these drivers can do here with the 43 leading the way as, oh, and he's already on the gas pedal, green flag in the air. He wasted no time.
38 of Wade Lear did not anticipate that restart at all. So the 9 of Aiden Young is going to get under him.
And they're going to be stacked up here for second on back as Kyle Willis pulls off out into a lead right now. But here comes the 9 machine to take the second position, Aiden Young, but battle is now for third.
As the 43 of Kyle Willis got black flagged for a restart violation, he's coming to pit road this time by.
Leader jumped the start, and the 9 is turned. We're wrecking here off turn 4. 78 hard up, climbing the wall there in turn 4.
Looks like Kyle Willis, he got a penalty, I believe, for changing lanes before the start finish.
We can see here as these drivers were trying to evade him, I think the 72 kind of got a little nervous seeing the 43 that low and just kind of went up a little bit higher than the driver above him was expecting, and that just kind of caused that stack up that we had. And the driver
looking back on replay, it looks like the 43 Willis did change lanes before the start finish.
All right, I thought he jumped it, but he obviously did not jump it, but he did not hold his position. Remember, that is something that you don't see too much on the iRacing service, but we know in real world sanctions that is a rule. You have, if you're on the inside line, you must remain on the inside line until you hit start finish. He did merge up into a normal line, and that is a big no-no.
But that caution really did save him. He's only going to be back in 11th now, whereas before he would have been at least 1 lap down.
There's a little bit of a silver lining there. So
and thrilled out that handed the lead over to the 72 of Ryan Kuhn.
And Wade Lear in the 38 did hold on for second. Tyler Cox has been up there. He is in third. Joe Perchette, we've talked about him quite a bit. He is in fourth. And then Jake Matheson, who I remember, I think he was in one of the first cautions, but through cycle of events, he's now in the top 5.
And also, I'm hearing the 72 of Ryan Kuhn was given a penalty for causing that wreck.
So you're just as we congratulate him for getting back to the lead, he's going to have to give it right back up.
Yeah, he's going to have to do a drive-through penalty, but at least he'll be up at the front to do it. But hopefully it won't cause a wreck this time.
Yeah, so obviously league well, it's not quite a league, but you know, the race admin are clearly obviously not happy with how this race is going, and they're kind of cracking down. They want this race to clean up, so these drivers will not be able to get away with what they are trying to do. So obviously we've seen about 4 or 5 penalties so far just in the last 3 or 4 cautions.
So the lights are out on the pace car. 72 Ryan Kuhn inside, 38 Wade Lear outside, 16 Tyler Cox inside second row, and it looks like the 26 of Joe Burchett second row outside.
So we'll be curious to see when the 72 does decide to yield his penalty, whether it's this time by or whether it is on he's most likely going to have 3 laps to yield it. So pace car pulls in and he waits to get on. Oh, there he goes. Kind of stacked him up there.
And check up on the outside lane behind them. It looks like they're going to keep it going. I don't know where that all started, but that gave the 72 of Kuhn a really big lead.
It looked like it may have been a little bit of a brake check, I believe, from the 72. Kind of got him going and then maybe wadded him up a little bit there, but everyone did a good job of avoiding a wreck. We do
stay that 1 lap.
Yeah, we do wait for him to come to pit lane. He has 3 laps before he will be disqualified from the scoring competition, and he will come.
His time by.
And he doesn't want to get a speeding penalty. He came in rather hot there, but see about that. So now there goes his track position. Now the battle is between Thomas Axum on the inside and Jake Matheson on the outside.
Looks like Axum will easily clear. He's trying to bring his teammate of Caden Honeycutt with him, as well as the 26 of Joe Burchett.
Stuck on the outside. We talked about earlier in the race, we thought the outside lane would come in. I don't think with all the yellows it has had the opportunity to. Right now you don't want to be up there, 0-5 in the wall just a little bit. Here comes Chris Silvestri in the 74. He's been back to the front, and he is now trying to get his way back there as he's now about to enter the top 5.
And through all that handed Tyler Cox to the lead. I believe this is the first time he's been out there.
Yep, first lap sled, he's led 5, now he's led 6 laps. Started all the way down in the 23rd position, now he's all the way back into, well, all the way to the lead rather, as we are on lap number 125, nearing the halfway point in this race. Driver who's been most out front for the most of this race is the 013 of Thomas Axum, and he is trying his best to get back to the bumper of the 16, but his teammate in the 37 is not falling far behind him.
Axum has about the same tires as the 16 of Cox, but he's just quite a bit quicker right now. We'll see if he can get around him.
Battle is for the 4th position right now as the 26 of Burchett is stuck to the outside as Chris Silvestri working his way back up, trying to get the 4th position here as we come through 3 and 4. Washes up the track, nearly some contact, but they do stay off of each other, and the 26 is holding off as best he can on the outside.
And there's a battle up front for the lead, 013 right on the back bumper, the 16 of Tyler Cox.
Top 3 right here, bumper to bumper to bumper as we exit turn number 4. 013 trying to do what he can do, trying to get a little bit higher entry, maybe get the cut off of the exit down low.
Got to get really good run out of 2, looking to the inside of Tyler Cox. Cox will shut the door.
Took a look, nothing going there, so the 013 will have to reassess the situation and try to plan a different move right now. The 16 is on defense.
Thomas Axum is definitely quite a bit quicker than Taylor Cox, but can he do it?
Contact. He turns him. Oh, and that's going to take out 3 to 4 other drivers in side effect of that. Go back on replay here. You can see from the blimp cam, the 16 missed the bottom by absolutely like maybe an inch there. That gave the 013 a little bit of a run. He drove it into turn 3. You'd think the 16 was one of Taylor Swift's X's because he just got dumped there in turn 3 and 4.
Looks like they are both going to get the penalty.
They both did. See, both drivers got a penalty at that one. The 013 and the, I already forgot who the other driver was. So,
16, that's what it sounds like. I think it might be for rolling back up into the track and taking out a few cars from that.
Yeah, the actual wreck, I really can't imagine how there would have been a penalty from that, but we did not catch the after effect of it, maybe not merging safely back into the race, so that is indeed warranting of a caution if it is indeed the situation. See, the 6 machine is Andrew Wooten. Remember, he was in the top 5 earlier, was one of the first to get a penalty, and I'm not sure if he has a backup car, but that is not going to last much longer.
So that hands the lead over to the 28 of Corey Walters.
I haven't mentioned him one moment today, but and you can see here that 28 machine looks like it has just rolled off the showroom floor. Not sure if he's had to repair or if he's just really been taking it easy, but good job keeping that machine clean and nearly for half this race.
And he's coming down pit road. That will hand the lead over to the 37 of Caden Honeycutt. But he's got a pretty damaged front end there.
Honeycutt's led 3 laps. This will be the 3rd lap led. You can see from the right front of that machine looks more like it's rather a touring modified than it does a super late model.
A super modified, Corey?
Yeah, I was combine the two.
But I wonder if that has hurt his engine any, because he has not run out there with that damage. He got it just in this last wreck.
Yeah, there is significant damage. The aero, not too much of a concern, obviously being the short track and the speeds we're enduring, but you do need obviously that engine, and any kind of damage perhaps to the radiator or what have you that will come into effect. We saw what happened at the 2 machine.
Yeah, 013 and 16 will be getting a drive-through penalty as we are coming back to the green. 37 Caden Honeycutt waiting the inside lane. 72 of Ryan Kuhn on the outside.
Stop calling him Katie. Pace car is in. Green flag in the air. 37 Caden Honeycutt on the loud pedal. We're back underway.
So 72 of Kuhn got a pretty good jump. Going to clear the 05 of Matheson.
Some side by side and some tight racing going on. I saw the 013 nearly make some contact there. I believe it was with a 00, but nothing did shake from that. Here comes a 05 of Jake Matheson taking a look to the inside of Ryan Kuhn. That's for the second position, side by side.
And Matheson is trying to bring the 38 of Wade Lear with him. Looks like he will.
Lear will drive it into turn number 3. 72 will wash up the track, yield the position. So move Wade Lear to the top 3 for the first time tonight.
37 of Caden Honeycutt. I need to stop that.
I know, I'm going to start making a counter for that. But
is that 3 so far? He's pulling away. He's coming up on the back bumper of the 013 of Axum.
But Evan, as we go back to the ladder after the top 10 right now, we have a gaggle of cars, 2 by 2, a little bit of 3 wide going on here. Sean Williams all the way at the wall trying to get out of the way. 43 Kyle Willis, he was leading before a pit stop earlier. He's in the middle of a 3 wide here off turn number 4.
Looks like the 28 of Walters kind of leading this pack of around 7 or 8 cars.
Everyone looks like they have gotten themselves shaked back out, but here comes Wade Lear trying to move into the second position, and he will do so off turn 4.
37 of Honeycutt is trying to get around his teammate of Axum, trying to put him a lap down.
We'll see how that goes. The teammates have not necessarily played nice to each other, the 4 or 5 that we have seen so far, so I don't really expect any favors to be played. Not sure how the team meeting's going to be tomorrow morning once they start talking to each other, because it has been some rough racing amongst them. Honeycutt
is just trying to put one more car a lap down, but it sounds like he's sitting on the radio. He's just going to sit behind him.
There's really nothing right now. The lead that the 37 has over second is right now 2 seconds, and he is faster than Matheson, even though he is running behind the 013.
And these 2 cars were probably the fastest cars out here today.
So when we have the next yellow, obviously the 013 will get himself back onto the lead lap. Well, he is on the lead lap now, but he will be caught back up with everybody. Gordon Larson Jr. is the next car for a position for the 013 as they come through 1 and 2. Gordon Larson is now entering turn 3, so quite some time before that position or a lap car becomes available.
But they're running about 1.5 seconds or so quicker.
Then we go back to Wade Lear. Sorry to cut you off, Evan, but Wade Lear, remember, he was just in second, and he's all the way back to 5th now, as Matheson, Kuhn, and Burchett have all got by him.
We'll see if he can fight back. Does not look like he will. He's starting to drop back even more a little bit now. He's got a pretty good ways back to someone behind him, Bradley Wilson in the 51. I believe he is a lap down. 6
machine is a lap car right now. 2 laps down is Andrew Wooten in front of these drivers right now. See if that has any effect on the racing. Matheson on the outside of the 72 of Kuhn loses the position. He will potentially lose a position to the 26 of Joe Burchett here off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Burchett dives it in, doesn't hit the bottom, washes up the track just a little bit. But the 05 will hold himself justice. They're still side by side.
It's going to be interesting to see how they do coming up against this lap car, the 6 of Wooten. If they're still side by side, that's going to be interesting to see how they handle 3 wide.
And we did just eclipse the halfway point of this race. We are on the latter half, lap 151, coming to 152 here. Finally getting some green flag racing in here in the Snowball Derby. Up front, the lead for the 37 machine is now 3 seconds. as his teammate Thomas Axum, who is on the tail end of the lead lap, is now starting to pull away from the 37, so that if the 013 does get back into the lead, that will be something to note as the race progresses. We know he's probably the fastest car out there.
Looks like the 72 of Kuhn might be starting to reel back in Honeycutt. Those are two team drivers. He's running just a little bit quicker.
72 is trying to get around the 6. Remember, the 6 of Wooten is not on the lead lap here, but he is causing a little bit of trouble for the 72 here. Kind of cuts in front of him there with the different kind of line off of turn number 4.
How long will the 72 stay behind him before using the bumper if he will not let him go?
Right now,
they're both trying to get around the 00. Gordon Larson, I believe.
Yeah, Larson goes high and out of the way, so that will not cause any more problems, but the 72, 2.7 seconds back. He is actually closing just a little bit right now, as Honeycutt in the 37, I believe, is in some traffic. Yes,
yeah,
he is.
The 37 is racing the 2 of Redding. Getting by him now.
Remember, Redding led a little bit in this race on a restart there. Didn't end very well for him as he's hard in the wall off turn number 2.
Ryan Kuhn still staying behind Wooten, but he doesn't really seem to be too much faster than him right now.
Yeah, you can see really hugged the white line there as low as he could possibly get, and that got him right to the back bumper. Now he's underneath. I think Wooten will just let him go. Obviously, Wooten's not really having any significance behind that position right now, so now let's see what Kuhn can do with clean track. He's now only 2.4 back, so I think he is actually cutting into the gap. Yeah, and a lot of times once the leader gets by these lap cars, black cars will play a lot nicer to second and third because it really doesn't matter to them if they get by him. Corey Walters just lost 2 positions in the 28 machine, just lost a couple positions to Kyle Wills and Aiden Young as he falls back. Joe Lawrence here is in 9th position. Remember, you talked about him in the top 5 quite a bit earlier today. Joe Lawrence in the 9th position, and then Thomas Axum obviously ahead of the leader in 10th. Those are the 10 drivers left on the lead lap right now.
And Kuhn's still closing in on his teammate, Caden Honeycutt.
Now the gap's under 2 seconds.
He's running about a half a tenth or so quicker each lap.
Kind of the short track vibe. Once you get into a rhythm, it is just really hard to break it. So when you're on a good rhythm, which the 72 is clearly on, he is just really making some time up right now. Even navigating through some lap traffic's not slowing him down.
Which I'm really impressed with the 6 of Wooten. He's doing a really nice job staying up there. He's right on the back bumper of the 72 Kuhn still.
So we have
a little bit quicker even.
We have a lot of drivers who have endured penalties, and even though they're fast drivers, they are off the lead lap, perhaps multiple laps down, but still have fast cars. I think the 6 is obviously in that category right now. If he can just catch the break that he needs, perhaps he can get himself back in this. Right now he only is 2 laps down. That is in the realm of achievability.
Caden Honeycutt in a realm of zone for the moment. No lap cars really in front of him for right now.
Yeah, finally has some clean racetrack right now as we're on the longest green flag run we've had thus far tonight. Must have been at least must be at least 30 laps right now we've ran. Hopefully that did not jinx it.
Kuhn has got the lead down to just 1.2 seconds. How much longer will it take for him to get there?
Bring up the battle tracker. Last time by, he had another 10th on him, so we will have a battle shaken up for the lead just a matter of a couple laps at this juncture.
Honeycutt closing in on some lap traffic at 98 of Jerry Glenn. Let's see if he'll just let him go as he is already multiple laps down.
Yeah, no reason to fight at this point, just to perhaps wait for maybe that next caution, get that car repaired, maybe use a fast repair. I think that's what a lot of drivers are doing now. It was a matter of time before we finally got a green flag run, so Perhaps with the damage cycle some of these drivers on, they just weren't ready for it.
The gap is now under a second. It looks about 9/10 of a second right now.
And the 98 may cause that gap to close even quicker.
Looks like it might be for the moment.
Jerry Glenn to the outside, opens the door for the leader on the inside. 37 washes up just a little bit. That'll cost him some valuable time. 37 Honeycutt cannot spare that time because the 72 is coming like a bat out of hell right now.
Running around 2/10 or so quicker each lap. Now he's going to have to deal with getting around the 98 of Jerry Glenn.
Glenn, now that he's obviously lost the position to the leader, I can't imagine him putting up too much of a fight for second right now. As we come through turns number 1 and 2 right now. See, he just...
Jerry Glenn going high.
But he's not...
Go ahead, Corey.
No, he didn't. Nope, he didn't yield the spot though. 98 kind of made him fight for it through 3 and 4. I mean, nothing overly dangerous, but it did cost a little bit of time for the 72. But as fast as he is, I mean, he's pretty much there now. He's within a half second.
Ryan Kuhn all over the back bumper of the 37 of Caden Honeycutt. How long will it take for him to get by as these are team cars?
With the speed in the 72 machine right now, I can't imagine much time being wasted right now as we're on taking lap number 176. Battle for the lead is under full heat right now. Ryan Kuhn in the 72 drove from 3 seconds back right to the back bumper of Caden Honeycutt. Let's see what he does
Honeycutt gets a little bit loose out of 4. That's going to hurt his momentum. 72 Kuhn looking to the inside down the front straightaway. Diving into 1 and 2 right on his back bumper.
Here he comes with a look underneath off of turn number 2. They're going to be side by side entering turn 3. Kuhn in the 72 washes up the track just a little bit, gives the 37 a little bit of a run off of 4, and he will hold the position for the time being.
Looks like the groove has kind of moved up just a little bit where you can defend on that outside lane now.
Hard to see with all the rubber already down, but the groove, as you said, is starting to get there. Here comes the 37 running that fresh track all the way up top, getting that cooler pavement, getting that grip. It is seeming to work for him. It's going to be a little harder for the 72 to make a bite on the bottom.
They're coming up on the lap car of the 00 Gordon Larson, so let's see how that plays into these leaders racing side by side.
Will we go 3 wide right now? I think we may. Let's see what the 00 does. Nope, we will not go 3 wide. 37 will back off. Here comes Andrew Wooten. Nope, we will be 3 wide off of 2. 37's around.
37 around on the back straightaway after contact with the 9.
That is not
6, I believe.
That is not going to go over well at all, I don't think, with lead admin. Race admin, rather, as we come off turn 2. You can see the 37 just kind of gave up the spot, let the 6 of Wooten get to the inside, and then we're 3 wide with Larson up top. And I don't think the 37 was as high as he could have been, but either way, that was not a predicament he probably should have been in the first place.
Yeah, looks like 37 will be getting the penalty, but I put some of the blame on the 6 as he's a lap down. He really shouldn't be racing like that. I know he's trying to get one of his laps back, but still.
So that will take another driver who has a fast machine and take him out of the race, well, not out of the race entirely, but out of immediate contention. Probably the 5th driver at least we've seen that happen to. You want to take a guess, Evan, at what yellow flag we're on right now?
14.
How'd you know?
Well, you said 12 about 2 cautions ago, so I was making an educated guess.
Oh, darn. Well, that took out the drama. So as we continue pacing right now, Corey Walters in the 28 will inherit the lead as he did not pit. He has about 50 laps on his tires, and just as I say that naturally, he will come to pit road.
Looks like the 6 of Wooten will also be getting a penalty. That's the 2nd for him tonight, so 1 more and he will be parked.
Right, so Ryan Kuhn will be in the lead again, and remember there is multiple awards for this race. Top 3 all have cash prizes. There is another reward on the table, the Hard Charger Award, and we can tell that by the graphic right now. See who has gained the most positions. Actually, I can't tell you that because I don't have the qualifying graphic.
Well, I'm gonna make a guess and say Aiden Young, who is up from 27th to 5th.
Yeah, that is a pretty good stab at it.
Next closest, I believe, is Joe Lawrence, who's from 28th to 9th. But lights are out on the pace car. 72 Ryan Kuhn will be leading the inside lane. 26 is Joe Burchett on the outside lane. Jake Matheson inside row 2. Aiden Young outside row number 4. We haven't
seen the 26 really up front since the beginning of the race. He kind of has lost the handle on that machine, but he is now on the outside of row number 1, and we've delayed the start. Someone obviously out of position there will warrant us giving one more shot to get wound back up here, get lined up properly.
So, looks like we're coming to the green this time. Someone stopped on the apron of 1 and 2. But it looks like we're still going to be coming to the green as the pace car is getting ready to pull into pit road. It does. Wait on the 72 Kuhn. He's on the gas. We're back underway here at Five Flag Speedway.
The outside lane on these restarts just cannot time it at all. Leader has gotten out to a pretty good start almost every single time. Jake Matheson will now move to P2 as we come through turns 3 and 4 to take lap number 188.
Matheson clear for second. Will he be able to stay up there and do anything with our leader? Looks like he's dropping back into the clutches of the 26 and 013.
Remember, 013 was fighting on the tail end of the lead lap with the caution. He's right back in it now. He's in the top 5, going for the 3rd position underneath the 26 of Burchett as he's on the inside through turns number 1 and 2, trying to get a dive there, but it does look like the top is coming in and these guys can hold their momentum up there.
013 of Axon was faster than our leader, 72 of Kuhn on that last run, but he was on the tail end of the lead lap. What will he be able to do now?
You could really see there the 26 was really making that top work. He was holding the momentum, getting the run on exit, and the 013 could not do anything with it.
26 of Burchett looking under the 05 of Matheson. Nothing done yet. 013 trying to get around him as well.
The battle is for second now. This is all 1 second behind the number 72. See the 26 with a different line, trying to get that run off the corner down low. It did work for him exactly as planned. He will go to the inside, but can the outside work for the 05 and hold him off?
Looks like the 013 of Axum is trying to go with him as well. I don't know if the 05 will be able to clear him and get in front of him.
Oh, 20.
So he's going to try to, not quite.
26 clears for the spot, but now Axum is taking his stab at it here, and I think he will have it as 05 did not get off 2 at all that time, but he will dive it on the outside. Can he clear? Nope, he will lose the spot, and here comes the 9 of Aiden Young.
Aiden Young looking under the 05, but he has the 37 of Honeycutt all over his back bumper as Honeycutt is looking to get the 5th position. Honeycutt. Got a really fast car right now, looking under the 9 of Young, can't do anything quite yet.
And all the while, the 9 is trying to take a stab at Jake Matheson still, as the 013 and the 26 pulling away from these drivers here, those drivers in 2nd and 3rd. Battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th here right behind that, but here comes the 37 taking a look to the outside of Aiden Young.
Can't do anything quite yet. He's going to try and get a run out of turn number 2, not quite. Possible crossover, nope, going to stay up in the outside lane and try and get under the 9 on exit of 4.
9 takes a look to the inside of the 05. He will get side by side, but remember the outside is working well enough now. These drivers can really run it and hold off. And here comes Honeycutt trying to take a look to the outside, maybe fall the 05 past the 9 up top.
9 of Young is driving in really deep into these corners and he's pushing up through the center. I'm going to be a little bit worried if he's going to get up into the 05.
I feel like the 37 can't decide which line to run right now. He is just kind of making his decision last second.
He'll go 3 wide.
Yep, he is 3 wide, entering turn number 1. Power move for the 37 of Honeycutt, and it's going to work for him.
Really good move by Honeycutt. He was trying for the last 5 laps or so to get around both of them. He does definitely have the quicker car.
So let's see what the 37 can do now. He has about 1.5 seconds to chase down the number 26 of Burchett, who is doing his best to get around Axum. Kind of a battle I'm surprised to see, because we saw the 26 really fall off and the 013 shine, but Joe Burchett is managing to hold with him right now.
Yeah, I think Axum just got around him, so we'll give him a few laps, and I believe he'll pull away.
All the while, Thomas Axum is now 2.5 seconds behind Ryan Kuhn in the 72, who is just driving off here as we now have less than 100 to go. Caution on the speedway. Wade Lear.
99 laps to go.
Wade Lear very slow here. Perhaps it was with him. Let's go back a little bit on replay, see if we can find out.
Yeah, looks like he got loose out of 2 and just went around and hit the inside wall.
That was a pretty good lick there into the inside wall. But as long as there's no engine damage, it looks like the suspension and the wheels are pointing the right way. So as long as the engine's up to full song, I think he'll be fine.
That's one of the things that's so fun about these cars, is you can beat up on them and you can bang them around, and as long as there's no engine damage, they're fine. And
we have a lot of cars down pit lane right now, including your leader and a whole bunch of others. 70 Axum, Kuhn, Burchett, Honeycutt, Madsen.
Overshot his stall.
And the 26 did as well.
Actually, it doesn't really look like they did, because I think the 20 lines are messed up.
The 26 definitely, I saw him back up in his stall, so I can definitely confirm that. And I think he had to change his pit strategy to accommodate that mistake. Right now, Joe Lawrence was the leader, but he did pit, and I think that's a good call by a lot of these drivers, is they are choosing to stay out. That way they can catch the pace car, change 4 tires, and then not lose a lap on their caution pit stops.
So 26 of Joe Burchett will have the lead.
Something he's not had in quite a while. He's led, now 22 laps, but all of those really being in the first 50.
Yeah, and he's going to have Caden Honeycutt behind him, as well as the 013 of Axum. And then Ryan Kuhn behind them. So Burchett on those 2 tires, we'll see how they do compared to everyone else's 4.
I think we've had some pretty good lengthy runs lately. I mean lengthy in terms of 20-30 laps, so not sure if that's enough to really show the wear in those left sides, but I guess we'll find out the hard way.
Yeah, we're getting some pretty good runs now, as we've got the field counting down to just about 19 cars, 13 on the lead lap.
But naturally, as we've had the better runs in the mid-half of the race, we're closing in on the end of it, so those breaks that people may have been starting to cut each other, I don't imagine those lasting much longer.
Yeah, just over 90 laps to go. Should be around 93 or so once we get the green.
But 90 laps at 16 seconds a lap, if we have any amount of green, those laps will fly off about 3 to 4 laps a minute, so this race is not nearly as long as you may think it's going to be.
26 of Burchett on the inside, the 013 of Axum on the outside, coming to the green pace car, getting ready to pull down pit road. It does. Wait on the 26 of Burchett. He is on the throttle. We are back underway.
That was actually a pretty good start there on the outside for the 013. He did not lose nearly as much time as everybody else does, and he will hold the second position side by side for third.
05 of Madsen up and into the wall just a little bit, bounced off of it, almost into the 72 of Kuhn, but he will lose the position as the 013 of Axum is looking for the lead.
Remember the older tires on the 26. He's trying to hold off up top, but the fresher tires at the 013 of Axum on the inside. Looks like they will prevail, all 4 of those tires on that machine. New leader, 013.
05 of Matheson just about went around behind them. He got a little bit loose entering the corner. Now the 72 of Kuhn is getting around the 26 as well.
With the strategy call on the 26 maybe is already starting to backfire. Only 2 laps into the run. We'll move the 013 into the lead, but let's see if Ryan Kuhn, who's also been up front for quite a bit of this race today, 38 laps indeed, he is right to the back bumper, taking a stab at it.
90 laps to go. 2 team cars up there racing for the lead at the moment.
You can see here a lot of drivers already running the second lane, even second and a half lane. It looks like middle of the pack here, but up front, both of these drivers hugging the white line here, doing their best as the battle for the lead's heating up. Through turns 3 and 4, Axum still holds the lead, but Kuhn is right in his tire tracks, not letting him get away by an inch. Kuhn actually running a little bit lower through 1 and 2, but getting a little better run on exit is the 013.
Yeah, 72 pretty good through the center and exit. Losing a little bit down the front straightaway.
So side by side, Bradley Wilson to the inside, having a couple drives to the outside of him. Caden Honeycutt in the 37 trying to get his way back up there to the outside of Bradley Wilson. Honeycutt back to the 6th position. Joe Burchett, remember he was the leader. He's back to 5th, soon to be 6th, and soon to be a lot lower than that because there's a lot of cars behind him.
Battle for 3rd is the 9 of Aiden Young is looking under the 05 of Matheson, and looks like he will get the spot.
A lot of side-by-side going on here at Five Flags for the KVegas Custom Snowball Derby here in its waning stages here as we're in the final third, lap 216 of 300 in the books. Right now, battle for the lead is soon underway between the 2 teammates, Axum and Kuhn. Then we have a good battle here for really 3rd through almost the rest of the lead lap right now.
I think Kuhn is just a little bit quicker, but he just can't get around him right now. We know some of these team drivers have played a little dirty with each other.
37 of Honeycutt, who, remember, he's led a good portion of this race. Look at that machine. Looks like he left Bowman Gray Stadium. A little bit of contact rather, between Matheson and Honeycutt in the 37, but move Honeycutt up to the 4th position now as he will try to catch Aiden Young.
Yeah, he's got a lot of damage on that race car, but it doesn't seem to be hurting him too much, if any.
But up front, it looks like Ryan Kuhn is really using as much patience as he can. We can just visually tell that he is really holding himself back at this point.
Kuhn got a pretty good run out of 4 and down the front straightaway, diving in pretty deep into 1 and 2. At least a little bit on exit.
At least we have to imagine that he's holding himself back. Do you think he's holding something back, or he just really can't get by?
It's kind of hard to tell because their cars are so even right now, and especially with them being teammates, they're probably running pretty close to the same setups.
Looks like the 72 lost a couple car lengths off of turn number 2, and that gap will stay the same off turn number 4, so Kuhn will have to gain a little bit of that time back that he lost, but he seems to be a lot better in turns 1 and 2. As
Caden Honeycutt is about to get back to the back bumper of Aiden Young. Now turn number 4, Honeycutt getting a pretty good run out of it.
And there's a battle going on right behind that, Evan, between Burchett and Matheson still. Burchett doing the best he can to hold off on those 2 tires as the 4 tires are stacked up behind him. 05 Matheson to the outside, and Andrew Woot, remember he had a penalty or so, a couple of them I do believe, but he's back on the lead lap now. In the 6th, soon to be 5th position if he can get by the 26.
Yeah, he's got those 4 tires. He's trying his hardest to get around that 26. It looks like he might have that opportunity here. No, he shuts the door.
8 wheels is better than 4. Kind of pushes the 05 up the track. Not sure how the 05 will feel about that, but either way, that will give the 6 another position. Now he has to get by the 26 of Burchett.
He's getting real good runs out of the corner with those 4 tires. He should be able to get by him here in a few laps. As Ryan Kuhn has closed back in just a little bit onto the back bumper of the 013 of Axum.
And the 6 of Wooten is now looking underneath the 26. The run is no longer. As you said up front, the battle for the lead still is nose to tail, but no eminent moves yet. Bradley Wilson now to the inside of, who is that? Matheson, who is now dropping back through the pack quite a bit at this point. He's trying to hold off on the outside groove as best he can, which is now working a lot better than it once was.
6 of Wooten looking to the inside of 26 of Burchett. He was there for a lap. Lost a little bit on the inside.
Very racy racetrack here at Five Flag Speedway as the groove is wearing in, as we're getting green flag laps. These drivers side by side all throughout the field at this point. Still Bradley Wilson and the 05 going at it, and then we have right behind that Joe Lawrence and Kyle Willis, 78 and the 43, going for the 9th and 10th positions right now.
Got battles going on all over this racetrack inside the top 15.
Currently, after all the lucky dogs that have gone on, we're back to 13 cars on the lead lap. Derek Luchachi is the last one. Oh, contact between the 05 and Bradley Wilson, but everyone will keep their cars straight.
6 of Wooten almost making contact with the 26 of Burchett up on the outside lane.
They're side by side. That's a battle for the 5th position at this point, and it looks like there's going to be a battle ahead of them too. Can't focus on all the action at once right now. A lot of activity going on out on the speedway. And here comes the 6 of Wooten underneath, still side by side.
There's a battle going on here. There's a battle going on just in front of them for second between the 37 of Honeycutt and the 9 of Young.
Yeah, Honeycutt, actually that's for the 3rd position, Evan, but the battle still is in hot pursuit right now. Still side by side, Wooten and Burchett here, as we're on lap number 233 out of 300 on the distance, and the 6 will clear.
Hey, 3rd is close to 2nd.
It is. But as we
6
go,
will clear, getting a little bit loose out of 4. It's going to give the opportunity to the 26 to fight back. It looks like he will not be able to, though.
But as we go back to the lead, the 72 Kuhn still using all of his patience to stay behind the 013, or perhaps the 013 is just getting a little bit better as they are about to catch their team car of the 03.
I read in chat that someone was saying that these two drivers are waiting until 50 to go to start racing each other.
Well, 50 to go is right around the corner, so we'll be in for quite the fight. Apparently, when that does happen, if we do go green, it'll be about a 100-lap run to the end, which by no means have we seen it all tonight. So we'll be interested to see if that comes out, or if we do have some yellow flag fever to end this race out. Stay tuned to PTR TV to find out.
Still a battle going on for 3rd between Honeycutt and Young, as now they're catching in the lap car. I believe that's the 2 of Redding. They get by him with no issue. 37 trying to get under the 9, can't do anything quite yet. Almost contact, staying off of him, giving him a little bit of a bump out of 2.
Some hard short track racing, but staying clean. You want to put a bumper to him, but you don't necessarily want to wreck the guy, so that's exactly what the 37's doing here. He's 5 seconds behind the lead, so he's going to probably need some help from the pace car to get himself wound back up if he wants to go for the win. But the 6 of Wooten is closing in on this battle.
Yeah, Wood has been running quite a bit quicker as the 9 of Young got loose out of 4, and that allowed the 37 to get under him into 1 and 2.
Here they come, side by side battle for the 3rd position yet again. 37 doing his best to run the inside, but the outside is quite favorable at this point in the race. 9's holding that momentum strong on the top. A little bit of contact from the 6th in the front straightaway, and caution on the speedway.
Out.
What did I say about a 100-lap run? Joe Lawrence sideways in turns 3 and 4.
Contact from the 28 of Corey Walters.
See, Walters just he really washed up the track there, like probably washed up a good lane and a half. Not sure if he overshot it or if there's some extracurricular activity going on, but we'll take the positive approach and say he just washed up the track there.
I don't. It's kind of hard to tell. He had a really bad entry into that corner. He was pretty low. He was in the middle of the track when usually you want to be up by the wall. And with that angle, he just went straight.
But pit stops yet again. Both team drivers 1 and 2 will come to pit lane here.
I expect this to be the final time they hit pit road.
Yeah, I would concur with that statement. And remember, Corey Walters in the 28. He is stayed out, but I think that was only to guarantee he will not lose a lap in the pit cycle. And he will indeed follow that suit and come to pit lane right now.
And 89, Sean Williams wins the race off pit road by taking 2 tires.
Now, given the length of that run and what we... Oh, here he comes to pit lane. I think that was just a attempt to not lose a lap with the short nature of the pace laps here.
Yeah, he was a little bit further in the back, so you might have just done 2 rights in and coming back down for 2 lefts.
I'll say I'm a little disappointed in Sean Williams.
Yeah, we need some excitement.
No, I was going to say, I've seen him in some various races, and he always has a Taylor Swift car. He doesn't have a Taylor Swift car. Darn you, Sean. Anyways.
So it's still, actually no, it's not showing Corey Walters. Thomas Axum will be the leader with 72 of Kuhn behind him, and then 37 of Honeycutt right behind them, so Team Cars top 3.
So what do we think is going to happen on this start? I mean, we've seen in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series at, say, Martinsville, Team Cars on the outside will cut brakes with each other to get everyone back in line. But I don't see that happening. We've seen the outside really be at a detriment on the restart, so Kuhn, who we think is the faster car, is going to be at a serious disadvantage.
Yeah, but we should have around 4 laps to go till 50 laps to go when these drivers are going to start racing. The team drivers are going to start racing. So they just need to hang on for 4 more laps, and then I guess I don't know if they're going to be putting the bumper to each other or what. We'll find out.
Yeah, I think that strategy may be starting a couple laps early with the obviously being 53 to go. I think we're going to be seeing the balls drop, seeing these guys going for it. Pace car is in. Thomas Axum wastes no time. Green flag in the air here at 5 Flags. KVegas Kustoms Snowball Derby.
72 of Kuhn got a pretty good jump there, able to clear the 37 of Honeycutt for second. Corey Walters getting his penalty now. He will serve it this lap, I do believe. 6 of Wooten looking under the 37 of Honeycutt. Wooten was quite a bit faster than Honeycutt under that last run.
Yeah, we saw Wooten, as we said, talked about early in the race. He had a couple penalties. He's gotten through all of them, gotten his track position back, trying to get a top 3 position back. He wants to clear Honeycutt as soon as possible to take a stab at these 2 leaders. He does do so. Let's see if he can make anything with the 2 up front.
Oh, it was a 26 of Burchett just drove it in deep underneath the 05 of Matheson. I thought he was going to come up a little bit.
But
into him.
Burchett, remember, he took 2 tires on a prior start. Did not work out well for him. Kind of shut the door on the straightaway there on the 05. Not sure if the 05 is going to be too happy with that, but regardless of such, 26 into the top 5. And we go back to the front, and we have exactly what we had last time by.
But 50 laps to go now.
So we're at the quote-unquote race lap where these drivers are going to start duking for this win. They were taking it easy for a lap some time, but Kuhn's going to launch the afterburners and take a stab at it, or so he says he will, at least at this point.
I think he is just a little bit quicker, but it's not enough where he can really pass him unless 013 makes a mistake.
So at this point, we're at a short track race. There's $100 on the line by KVegas Kustoms to the top 3 in this race. The winner obviously gets the healthy portion of that cut. Both of these drivers want it, so what are you going to do to get it? Are you going to put the back bumper to the teammate, or are you going to race him fair and square? I'm going to have to imagine for money, you're going to put the bumper to him. At least I would, anyways.
Yeah, I think so. But you know what it's like for a teammate.
Diggs.
Cough, cough, Road America, cough, cough.
Diggs. Anywho, personal drama aside, we go a little ways into the pack. We still see, we've always had a lot of battling in the latter half of the top 10. That trend continues nonetheless. Some good racing going on. Bradley Wilson, Sean Williams, Kyle Wilson company. But we do have to focus up front as the laps tick away. And what is Ryan Kuhn going to do, and when is he going to do it, if he indeed does do it at all?
Well, Wooten is about to, Kuhn is about to have some company from Wooten. He has been closing in on both of these drivers the last few laps.
Lap tracker on the board. Thomas Axum was the fastest that last time by just a couple hundredths, but Wooten was indeed faster than Kuhn. and this last time by, give the edge to Kuhn by about 600ths. Battle going on right between the 37 of Honeycutt and Joe Burchett yet again. This is for the 4th position. Honeycutt on the outside, Burchett on the inside. Not sure which line's really going to prevail. Looks like off of turn number 2 rather. 26 washes up the track. 8 wheels is better than 4. That'll move the 26 into the 4th position rather, but here comes Honeycutt on the outside. Nothing doing, but is he going to take another stab at it?
Kuhn is still all over the back bumper of Axum. Not much has changed up there.
Yeah, the 30
has kind of started to drop back just a little bit.
That he has. I wonder if the 37 of Honeycutt's going to be very happy with the 26. He did really push him up the track in 3 and 4, but I don't know if he has enough car to get back to him. But back to the front, we can see the lead has really kind of stayed the same, and Andrew Wooten's holding on by just a hair under a second behind these guys. So if anything does happen, he can pounce on it.
They're coming up on lap traffic. The 2 of Redding hit by him with no issue.
Here comes Kuhn with a look to the inside off of 2, nothing doing. He ran a higher line through 3 and 4, trying to get the crossover off of 4, nothing doing, but he is as close as he's been in quite a few laps.
Coming up on another lap car, the 8 of Clayton Kurtz. He's just a little bit in front of these guys, about a straightaway.
We've seen lap cars kind of cause some havoc at various points in the race today. We've seen some cautions come from them. We've seen some penalties come from them. So I'd hope at this point they will yield to the leaders in this battle for the win. But time will tell as we exit turn number 4 to take another lap. Everything does stay the same. Kuhn takes a little bit of a peek to the inside, running a lower line, but nothing doing.
Kuhn is quicker. He just can't get around him cleanly. Will he be able to get by cleanly, or will he have to use the bumper? He's only got around 34 more laps.
He's only taken really a couple stabs at it cleanly. I think he's going to try to play around with different lines, see where he's faster, see where he's slower, really plan out that move. And if that doesn't work, I do think the bumper's going to come out.
Yeah, Kuhn is just experimenting right now, trying to figure out what he can do to run better and what the 013 is doing and where he's better than him.
But the laps are ticking away, only 32, 31 laps to go here in the race. And remember, at this small of a track, that time is going to fly by in absolutely no time. So he's going to have to make a move quick because these laps are not going to last.
Yeah, 31 laps to go right now. Getting pretty close to that lap traffic of the 8 of Kurtz. We'll see if they can use him as a pick, if they can get side by side.
See the 72 really running a higher line there through 3 and 4, and it got him the run down the front straightaway, but not enough to get to the back bumper. Let's see what the 8 does if it bogs down either of their momentum. You're going to see so many marbles all across this speedway at this point. I would not want to get on the apron right now if you have to, even as a lapper, because there's not going to be any grip with all those marbles. So something to take note of. But the 72 has gained some time. He's as close as he's been in a couple laps, but hard in the wall. Didn't really lose much time in that endeavor, though. He was in the wall, didn't lose too much time, kind of keeps going. Caution. Jake Matheson.
28 laps to go.
Jake Matheson, he was in the latter half of the top 5 for quite some time. He is the root of the caution. Let's see what happened.
Contact with the 51.
Bradley Wilson.
So they just split up a little bit.
I think it was kind of a racing deal on both parts. I might have came up a little bit. You might have came down a little bit, but nothing. I mean, that really wasn't any kind of significant contact, so I think everyone will be just fine, but
on the pit road, 013 of Axum as well as Ryan Kuhn.
Kyle Willis stays out, but does he stay out for good, or does he stay out just to avoid getting a lap down? So we'll find that out.
Looks like Kyle Willis, Bradley Wilson, and Sean Williams staying out on the track.
And we can see Axum, I can tell from the graphic that I think he did take 2 tires on that stop.
Looks like Axum and Honeycutt did. Wooten took 4 tires. It could be the race winning strategy. We will find out.
If you watched us last night on BTR TV, you would have saw we had a green flag race and a lot of pit strategy, and the pit strategy ended up winning the race for the driver that took 4 tires. I wonder if that situation will carry over tonight in the Snowball Derby.
I think everyone that stayed out has pitted.
Evan, we usually always do it a little later in the race, but let's do it now. Take your pick.
I'm going to go with Wooten.
Darn you.
Was that your pick, Corey?
It was going to be my pick. It was probably the obvious pick with the 4 tires, but I'm gonna take Axum. What the heck? We'll go
Axum?
with the Axum. Yes. Let's take the leader. Let's be risky.
The leader that's on 2 tires.
Yes, that's why I said the risky call. Slightly risky. He is a fast car. To make 2 tires work, you have to have a fast car in the first place. That is something that a lot of drivers make a mistake on. If you're a 10th place car and you take 2 tires, you're not magically going to win the race. But if you're a fast car on 2 tires, that is your best opportunity to make it work. So that is the circumstance for the 013. So he's going to have about 20 laps to go.
Yeah, 1 to green. He's going to have about 22 laps,
and
I believe.
Especially if we have another quick yellow, put another heat cycle on those tires for especially the new drivers who just pitted. Those tires will not be as good the second time by, so this is what we will find out together in only a matter of minutes left in this race, really. 23, 22 laps around this 5 Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. Thanks for staying tuned to Primetime Racing TV for the Snowball Derby. Green flag in the air. We're back at it.
013 of Axum got a really good restart ahead of the 72 of Kuhn, clears him. 6 of Wooten looking right on the back bumper of Kuhn. Looking under him.
A lot of contact off turn 2. The 72 and the 37 made some contact here, but here comes Wooten in the 6 to the inside of the 37. Gets the run, and the Wooten's right to the back bumper of Thomas Axum for the lead.
Putting the bumper to him just a little bit underneath and down the back straightaway going into turn number 3.
Battle for the lead. Some contact. Pushes him up the track. 013 off the side panel of the 6. Gets washed up the track. Wooten into the lead. Now Joe Burchett cautioned.
Out.
I think, oh, the 8 of Clayton Kurtz.
And a 98 of Jerry Glenn. That looks like where it started. 51 got up into
3
the 98.
wide. Yep, 3 wide, and the 2 was just innocent bystander there. The 8 just kind of, I think, turned himself trying to stay hard out of the way of that. But interesting turn of events there as we saw Wooten kind of door the 013 up the track, but I mean, it's kind of a short track maneuver. You kind of, I don't think the 013 was not expecting it, but at the same time, you're not going to be happy about that.
And 013 only fell back to 4th, but the issue is he's on 2 tires.
He's not
going to be hard for him to get back up to Wooten.
But
I heard on the radio he was not very happy. But his teammate, Ryan Kuhn, who is on 4 tires, will he try and get some revenge for his teammate?
Yeah, do you have your teammates back? I mean, I would. But at the same time, you don't want to get yourself in somebody else's trouble and maybe cause a situation for yourself that you wouldn't have been in otherwise. You kind of have to take it both ways. But at this point, your top 3, Wooten, Burchett, and Kuhn, all on brand new tires. We obviously know Burchett on the outside lane is going to be at the serious disadvantage getting up to speed because it's just really hard to time when the leader is going to go off turn 4. So I have to give the edge to Kuhn of, obviously besides the leader, I have to give the edge to Kuhn. And we know he's we know he's the fastest car out of the 2 ahead of him, so.
Yeah, if this goes green, I'm going to get Ryan Kuhn probably the best shot to win this. With his 4 tires, I think his car is just quite a bit better than Wooten's. But Wooten, he was staying up there pretty good early in that last run.
And we also saw Kuhn use a lot of patience running behind his teammate of Axum for what was, I mean, the better part of at least 60 to 70 laps.
He will not do that now.
Yes, I was just going to say, the patience with 15 to go, with a significant amount of money on the line for a prestigious race. Yeah, I'm going for it, buddy. Second place is the first loser.
He is going to use the bumper. If you can get up to him, he's going to use the bumper. I can pretty much guarantee it.
They're going to track who won this race. They're going to track who won this race every year that they run it. They're not going to track who finished second, so...
So lights are out on the pace car. 6 of Wooten leading 26 of Burchett on the outside lane.
Stay tuned, folks. It's going to be good. KVegas Kustoms Snowball Derby live here on PTR TV. We had a lot of cautions up front. We had a hectic start to the race, but it's cleaned up. It's got really exciting. We're going to have a heck of a finish. 15 laps left around Five Flag Speedway in these super late model cars. As Andrew Whitman, the 6 on the inside, he'll get this race restarted. He's back on the loud pedal. Green flag in the air, 15 to go.
72 of Kuhn got the start he needed. He's going to be able to get by the 26 of Burchett and set his eyes on the 6 of Wooten.
Clear opportunity for the 72. He sees one car in his windshield. That is the leader. There is 14 laps to go in this race. 14 laps to make a move and win it.
Kuhn driving it really hard into 1 and 2. Gained a lot of time there and off.
He's there.
Into 3 and use the bumper.
He's there. 72 has already gotten there off of only 2 laps on the restart. He's right to the back bumper of the 72. What is he gonna, or actually the other way around, 72 back to the bumper of the 6. What is he gonna do? Where is he better? Where is he gonna make the move? Is he gonna do it cleanly? Who knows?
Oh, and Wooten up into the wall. And the 26 of Burchett right behind them if anything happens. And 2 teammates just wrecked behind them. Caution.
Big wreck. Bradley Wilson, Sean Williams.
Axum just turned the 0-3 of Gluchaki. He was quite a few laps down at one point. He was up there in 4th position. And he got turned by his teammate of Axum.
Yeah, he just, 0-13, just dove it really deep. Yeah,
just
overdrove
it or just slid up a little bit.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall of that team meeting tomorrow morning.
Yeah, me too. They've had a lot of contact with each other. So now with Kuhn, he's going to be in the outside lane. If he times it right, that can be an advantage.
But the odds of timing, well, I mean, if we have to think about it, Evan, how many times has the leader actually waited to go?
That's a good point.
I can't think of a single time the leader waited more than a second. So really, he just has to see that pace car break in and get right on it. And if he does that, I can't imagine him. I mean, I don't know if he'll stay side by side, but at least he won't lose that much time.
What Wooten needs to do is change it up just a little bit from what everyone else has done, just so that Kuhn will not be able to anticipate it as well. He's going to need to change it up from the last few times everyone else has done it.
Because if us in the booth here are kind of noticing the trend of what the leaders have been doing, obviously the drivers are taking that mental note and trying to accommodate what they're going to need to do. You don't want to be consistent because that's what's going to get you beat. You have to keep everyone on their toes. What's he going to do? Where is he going to go? And then we have Joe Burchett in the 26. He's going to have the best reaction of all. So is he going to be able to get around Kuhn and really throw a curveball on that?
Another thing, after we get green here, we might not be able to go back to green if we have a caution.
Yeah.
We're pretty close to that cutoff lap.
Cutoff,
5 to go.
Yeah, the cutoff lap is about 5 to go. And if we get a caution on the restart lap, there is a small
possibility
of a 1-lap shootout. But that's about it.
If they get 1 lap from the restart, a caution will end the race.
Yeah, within 4 to go, it's over, folks. But within 5, if there's 5 to go and the caution comes out, there's a fighting chance we'll have a 1-lap dash. And we are going to go green this next time by, and this will be with
6 laps to go.
So we actually probably, yeah, like I said, we have about a lap for a caution. We don't want the caution. We're just merely saying if it does happen, we will have a fighting chance to get back going, but hopefully we'll get this last 6 laps under green. And
6 of Wooten in the lead, waiting for the pace car to go down. It does. 72 of Kuhn got a pretty good jump.
But the 26 did as well as we take the green flag entering turn number 1 and 2. The 26 of Burchett gets the lead, gets the second position from Kuhn, and he's pretty close to the back bumper of Wooten. What's he going to do with it?
5 laps to go at the line. 26 of Wooten, or 26 of Burchett, right all over the back bumper of the 6 of Wooten.
And he gives him the bumper! Turns him, gets him sideways, gets him loose. They're 3 wide. Kuhn with the advantage. Some contact between the 6 and the 72. Give Ryan Kuhn the lead, and cautions out. That's the race. Major contact here. Someone was stopped right in the middle of the track. That should be the race, folks. Let's try to go back and watch what that circumstance was up front. See, Wooten here is off taking the start finish, and major contact with the 26 doesn't turn him, just gets him loose. Kuhn all the way down in the marbles there, takes the lead, and that's the moment of caution. Probably worked out in Wooten's benefit, because he would have lost a lot more time if that did stay green, because he was all the way out of the groove.
So, according to league officials, unofficial result is Ryan Kuhn, Joe Burchett, and Andrew Wooten, top 3.
And this is unofficial because, obviously, with the penalties that have been and might likely will be assessed, but at least at present, that is your top 3. That is the top 3 that will be in the money positions. Just have 2 more pace laps to navigate around this speedway. Stay with us after the race. We will talk to, hopefully, as if they're available, the top 3 finishers after this race, get their take on their nights tonight in the KVegas Kustoms Snowball Derby. Sorry for that. So this will be under pace speed, the white flag in the air for Ryan Kuhn, who has led 42 laps of this race. It'll be 43 if he can make it another half mile around. Was as low as 14th in this race, as everybody else did. Had to come from the back to the front various times, had to avoid many wrecks, had some contact made, had to make some contact, but in the end, the 72 of Ryan Kuhn is going to come off turn number 4 behind the iRacing.com pace car and win the Snowball Derby tonight at Five Flag Speedway.
And also, want to talk about the Hard Charger Award. This is not official, but I believe it should go to the 9 of Van Young. He went from 27th to 8th.
We will get clarification on that in the post-race show, but again, we want to congratulate Ryan Kuhn on his victory tonight. Stay with us for the post-race show. We'll get some driver interviews in. So again, we'll be right back. And we're back here on PTR TV for the post-race show. After that exciting finish that we saw, we will give you the top 3 interviews tonight, and the first of that will be the 3rd place finisher of Andrew Wooten. All right, Andrew, you had a really good race tonight. You had a shot at the win. Obviously, some kind of short track fever kind of took over at the end and took that away from you. But all in all, talk about how your race went tonight.
It started off, kind of iffy. I went 2 laps down early, but with about 100 to go, I got back on the lead lap. I knew I had a fast car. It's just a matter of, making it through all the wrecks, getting, past all the guys.
Yeah, so you came down, you had the fresher set of tires than a couple people on that last couple restarts we had. You ended up getting the lead. What was your mindset on those couple last restarts? What did you think you had, and did you think that something was going to happen like that to take you out of it?
No, it was just a matter of being smooth. I mean, that was out of my control. Me and Joe, we raced hard, and I raced him clean. So I definitely wasn't expecting it, but that's a racing deal, I guess, and we'll take it.
All right. So for your 3rd place finish tonight, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Bulletproof Racing. Definitely got to thank Joe Lawrence, Jake Watson, William Hale. Just got to thank all these guys, man, for making it happen, and good win up there, Ryan.
All right, 10-4, brother. Congrats again on your finish. Thanks for talking to us.
Yes, sir.
All right, and now Evan will bring you Joe Burchett, the 2nd place finisher.
So, Joe Burchett, you come home with a 2nd place finish after a pretty chaotic race. What are your thoughts?
Pretty ecstatic just to bring home the 2nd. Definitely didn't have a top 3 car all night. Got lucky with a few of the cautions. I'll definitely take home a 3rd or a 2nd there.
Did you have many close calls out there with all the wrecks we had?
Well, I know I got caught up in one. I think when the 16 spun, locked them up. Just got caught up in that. Other than that, basically the rest of the night I tried to keep my nose clean as best I could. Right there at the end with Andrew, just got in a little too hot. Wasn't expecting him to get on the brakes that hot there, that late into the race, but it's a racing deal. Wasn't trying to do it intentionally to wreck him, but other than that, yeah, just try to keep the nose clean all night.
On that final restart, did you think you'd have a shot at the win?
Yeah, me and Andrew were kind of communicating there a little bit to kind of let me know when he was going to go. I thought if we could both get a good enough jump and it'd be between the both of us. If it came down to the last lap, I would give him the bumper. I wouldn't try to wreck him. Like I said, I didn't try to move him out of the way there. I just got in a little too hot on him. But it's short track racing. There's always going to be contact. And even though I wanted to win starting on the pole, I'll take a 2nd.
All right. Well, is there one you'd like to thank or give a shout out to?
I just want to thank everybody at Sellers Brothers Racing, Swamp Dust Seasoning, Danville Toyota, Clarence Steakhouse, and Overtake Motorsports.
All right. Well, congrats on your second place finish, and thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
And now Corey will talk to your winner tonight, Ryan Kuhn.
All right, Ryan, you had a very fast car. You were up front for a good portion of the race, and like a lot of drivers, you had to go back to the front a couple times. Kind of talk about how your race went, and ultimately that how the seas parted there for you to take the lead there at the very end.
The race was great. It was a lot of fun. Me and Tom running up front. Special thanks to everyone. My new team race agent, my teammate Thomas Axum. Great race. I put a lot of work into this setup, and me and Tom are running the similar setup, and was very, very fast. The car was on rails. I couldn't be happier. It was a great race. It's too bad for Tom, but it is what it is. And big shout out to race agent. Big shout out to my teammate / real life spotter Thomas Axum for a great run tonight. He had a very fast car.
Yeah, you definitely were up there, and you had, what was the thought process, especially in the beginning of the race where there was so many yellows and we really couldn't get a groove going? Was that a little frustrating in the driver's seat for you guys?
It was a little frustrating, but you know, it is what it is. It happens. It's a big field. It's usually how these big races work. There's a lot of yellows at the beginning. It was the same way as the battle at the Bullring last weekend. But honestly, this race is a lot of fun. The last 2 weeks have been just amazing. Unbelievable weeks. So I'm glad to call myself a Snowball Derby winner on iRacing.
That's definitely a title that is worth having and something that you'll take with you for a while. And you take home the money tonight, take home the biggest prize tonight from KVegas Kustoms, which obviously is a nice icing on the cake. So who do you want to give your shout out to? I know you kind of gave a couple already.
I'd like to give a shout out to Tom Axum, Real Life Spotter, Race Agent. Check him out on Facebook. And my real life sponsor, Everett's Auto Parts. I got Race Agent on the hood today, my brand new team, and I like to thank them a lot. They do a lot of work for me. Glad to be on the team. Glenn, Grant, everyone on that team. It's pretty cool.
All right, 10-4 Ryan, congrats on your finish. Obviously the winner of the Snowball Derby, Ryan Kuhn.
Thank you.
So that is the post-race show. So now let's finish up coverage tonight with the final results here from the Five Flag Speedway. Your victor tonight, as we just spoke to, was Ryan Kuhn in the 72. Congratulations to him, getting the big money here tonight. Joe Burchett in second, Andrew Wooten in third, Caden Honeycutt in fourth. Then we have Sean Williams, Jake Matheson, Aiden Young, Bradley Wilson, Joe Lawrence, and Corey Walters, the top 10.
And Kyle Willis finishing in 11th, Gordon Larson in 12th, Max Cookson in 13th, Thomas Axel in 14th, and then Derek Gluchaki, I forgot how to pronounce that name, Jerry Glenn, Michael Redding, Clayton Kurtz, Wade Winger, and Kenneth Youns running at the top 20.
The remainder of the results will flash by on the screen for you. Now we have to give our sponsor shout-outs tonight. We got to thank Air Movement Fabrication, longtime partner with the channel, Nottingham's choice for custom signs, design, repairs, and all things metal. Visit them online at airmovefabs.co.uk or find them on Facebook, Air Movement and Fabrications. Then Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Krutz Custom Graphics is the motorsports design specialist. Also, iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing top two main overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcast company looking for custom overlays to make your channel shine, talk to Jason Allison with iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. And if you don't mind, check out our Patreon as well to keep our broadcast quality high and cost low for league owners. We need a little help from the fans. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a Patreon, you will get rewards depending on how much you donate. Just check us out at patreon.com/PTRTV. God, that's a lot of talking. I don't know how Brandon does it every week. But again, that's another broadcast here tonight on Primetime Racing TV. We brought you the Snowball Derby here tonight. I hope you enjoyed the coverage of it. Evan Black and myself in the booth signing out tonight. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good night.